Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about direct field orientation control. In previous class we discussed about what do you mean by vector control method and what are all the types of vector control method. Over that, the field control method will have two types. One is direct field orientation and another one is indirect field orientation. So today we are going to discuss about direct field orientation control method. So before we enter into the direct field orientation control method, we have to know what is the basic field orientation control algorithm will have. We already discussed whenever we are going with a vector control, we have to derive certain parameters related with your dynamic system. Like that, the algorithm which explains 8 steps, each steps will have to calculate certain parameters. So the steps to follow will be the first step. We have to obtain the field angle. The field angle will be denoted as theta f. Second step, calculate the flux producing components like field current or rotor current and rotor flux linkage, because the rotor flux linkage will directly relate with your electromagnetic torque. And third step will be you have to calculate the torque producing component, which is a stator current I T star. And fourth one will be the calculation of stator current phase and magnitude, which is denoted as IS star, from the vector sum of IT star and IF star. That is, the stator current and the rotor current will give the stator phase and magnitude. And the step 5 will explain the torque angle calculation by finding out the tan inverse of stator current and the field current. And next step, adding the torque angle along with the field angle to get the stator current phasor angle. The major parameter for controlling the dynamic system in your induction motor will be the stator current phase angle and the torque parameters. And the seventh step will be using the theta s and IS star, the path transformation DQ, that is two stationary axis parameters formation, will be converted into ABC variable, which is generated in your block diagram. And the last step, by synthesizing this current using the inverter, which is a current source inverter, and supply that values or that transformed signals to your induction motor by using any methods like pulse width modulation technique or by using space vector modulation technique. These 8 steps will be defined by using a simple block diagram, which is said to be an FOC. So directly we will go with a direct control method. The direct control method block diagram will be explained in next slide. The direct control method, which is a combination of your FOC along with your current source inverter, which is connected with your induction motor. It is also called it as a feedback vector control method. So the real-time motor speed first we have to obtain by using any tachometer or some other sensor, which is compared with your reference rotor speed, which is omega r star, and we are developing an error signal. That error signal is generated. Before that, you have to amplify that, and it is generated to produce the reference torque TE star. Initially, the rotor speed accelerates beyond the reference speed. That is, we already know the inverter will have an input DC voltage. That DC voltage will give an output power to your system. That DC voltage generating EMF will have the parameter of dynamic parameter impact. For example, if you are weakening the rotor flux linkage as a result, which reduce the EMF available across your inverter. So this will be the block diagram. The general block diagram will have the generated parameter as flux and the torque, which will be a rotor flux linkage, and this will be the stator torque developed, which is given as an input to your field orientation control algorithm. That algorithm will generate a 3-phase pulse width modulation control transformation input. By using a pulse width modulation technique, the inverter switches will be turned on and off with respect to the signal given by your field orientation control. By that, the machine will start rotating. And again, with respect to the connecting load, by varying the load, again the signal will get collected and the feedback signal is sent to your measurement system, and that measured value again sent to the FOC. Again the 8 steps will be followed, and again the revised signal will send to your PWM generator, and then the inverter will vary the input voltage. By using that, you can able to control the induction motor dynamic performances by using your field orientation control connected with your current source inverter. This will be the detailed block diagram scheme where the FOC detailing will be explained here. For example, we already discussed the developed DC tachometer generated signal will be sent to your comparator, which is denoted as WR, which will be the real speed, which is compared with your reference speed WR dash. That error signal is sent to the speed limiter. Parallelly, the field rotor flux linkage field weakening will also send. This developed the torque parameter and this developed the lambda parameter. Both the parameter are compared, and we are using an proportional integral or proportional integral derivative for controlling the parameters, which is placed in between the FOC block diagram, and that will develop the magnitude and the angle, which we already discussed the phase and the magnitude of your stator parameters, and then it is sent to your current command synthesizer and flux and torque synthesizer. After that, the current controlled inverter will develop the control PWM signal will be a current controlled signal. So the current controller will develop the signal to your inverter. By that, the inverter convert the DC into AC with respect to your current controlled PWM signal, and by using that, the induction motor will start rotate. Parallelly, from the induction motor, again the parameters are getting collected feedback, and it is fed back to the error generating system, and again the revised pulses will develop from the current controller, and it is sent back to your inverter. By using the system, you can be able to control your induction motor dynamic performances even when you add the real-time load with respect to the application. And the last step will be the functional diagram of your voltage source direct FOC. The voltage source direct FOC will deals with the how the input parameters is converted into 2-axis parameter, and then again it is fed back as a 3-axis parameter, which is sent to your PWM generator, and then it is connected with your inverter. So initially the PID controller and the limiter will have an torque parameters, which is a reference and the generating torque, and as like that another one will be used for the flux linkage. We already discussed the dynamic performance of any machine can be identified by using your torque parameter and the flux linkage parameter. By using that, the signal is generated, and that generating signal will be the torque current, which is a stator current, and there will be a field current from your flux linkage, and the input, which is an AB and theta, will be, that is we already know the clock transformation alpha and beta. As like that, the transformation will be there, which is compared with your real-time generating parameters, and again the PID controller will limit the parameter and amplifies the signal to your final transformation block. In the final transformation block, your D and Q parameter will be converted into ABC parameter, which is an last step of your FOC, where the synthesization of your 2-axis into 3-axis signal. This VAS and VBS and VCS parameters are sent to your PWM pulse, and that generating pulse will given to your inverter, and which is producing a turning on and off of your thyristor to give input voltage to the induction machine. So this is the broad explanation of your direct vector control method or direct field orientation control method. In next explanation, in next class, we will discuss about the indirect field orientation control method. Thank you.